The Breeders' Cup Juvenile for the 2-year-old males on the dirt. This is a very, very interesting race with one of the biggest favorites of the Breeders' Cup weekend. You'll want to play it through NyraBets. Head on over to NyraBets.com. Use the promo code CUP25 for your free $25 play, along with a $200 deposit match bonus. Cave Rock. There are some good ones. This is a strong Breeders' Cup Juvenile. We've really seen some nice horses and good horses in the prep races, but there's an unusually tough one here in Cave Rock running out in California. And Bob Baffert holds an extremely strong hand with he and the second-place finisher, National Treasure. I'm not trying to beat Cave Rock in here. Yeah, there's other speed to perhaps run with him. He is too fast for these horses, and he's bred to keep going, getting better with more distance, being a son of Arrogate. He has been fast in all of his races, and to me, he's unusual. I'm not going to say he's as good as Uncle Mo at this point. Uncle Mo, though, who had one of the more impressive Breeders' Cup juveniles that we've ever seen, he does face one from that barn, but I just feel as though Cave Rock is too good for these, and I think National Treasure is also dangerous, and even though he has speed to run with Cave Rock, I don't see him forcing that rival from the same barn. That doesn't mean that I'm dismissive of the horses that he's running against, in particularly the number 4, Forte. Forte was very, very impressive when he won Saratoga in the slop. He needed a second start. He's 3 for 4, and he showed he could stretch out to a mile and a 16. Now, he did this with the benefit of a very quick pace and a contested pace. And yes, he's going to get a quick pace again, but he's not running against Cave Rock. And while Loggins was impressive in breaking his maiden, that's the horse who's second on the inside, he's no Cave Rock. And I just wonder if Forte is really the right horse here as the second choice. And so I think he's a very good horse. But in this particular race, I'm going to try to beat him. I am interested in the horses out of the Champagne, particularly Blazing Sevens, though I can understand why Verify, who raced close enough to the inside, though not right down on the inside, and ran very well, and I thought improved a lot from his first start to his second start. But I think that Blazing Sevens is the one you want, simply because I want to have the horses filling in the slot behind Cave Rock as a closer. And Blazing Sevens as a closer, you could say, well, maybe he's a sloppy track horse, or maybe he's a wet track horse who got an 85 body in his debut that doesn't particularly like a sloppy track. And his last race was fast. I would not just dismiss it and say it was a wet track because he didn't run well in his second start. I think he's actually getting better, and he feels like the horse that will improve with more distance, and he gets the pace to run at. So he's going to end up being my second choice. I do want to look at my friend Tom Amos's horse, Curly Jack, and I don't want to be dismissive of Curly Jack, who ran very well to win the Iroquois. That was a pace that was very honest. He made an early move to make the lead. He was able to hold off a long shot closer in here, and I thought it was a very good effort by him. But realistically, is he good enough to run against horses like this? I don't really think so. I just think he's too slow to face them. I hope I'm wrong. I'd love to see Tom do well in this race. But this is not a Breeders' Cup Juvenile to be taking horses that need to improve significant amounts. And I think the same thing goes for Lost Ark, who also ran the Breeders' Futurity. The Half to Nest has some ability, and he may appreciate more distance, but this is a particularly tough spot. Not trying to beat Cave Rock. In fact, I have Bob Baffert first and third near with Cave Rock on top and National Treasure second. I have the New York-based horses Blazing Sevens second and the 4 Forte finishing fourth. But Cave Rock, to me, he looks like a big, big-time star. And Bob Baffert, with these kind of horses in races like this, he seems to get it done far more often than not. Head on over to NyraBets.com if you're not a member to play the Breeders' Cup Juvenile, all the Breeders' Cup races, and all the action everywhere. Use the promo code CUP25 for your $25 free play, along with a $200 deposit match.